So today we're going to talk about whether or not you can see the seams in a wood veneer. Now, it all starts out with the raw veneer. We make those raw veneer sheets, which this here is an example of a raw veneer sheet right off of a log. It's about 10 inches wide. We make those into the large size sheets, anywhere from about 2 feet wide all the way up to 4 feet wide, sometimes 5 feet wide. So it starts with the raw veneer sheets. Now if you notice, these sheets are sliced from the log consecutively, and so the patterns that you see they match as it goes through the log, one to the next, one sheet to the next. This allows us to put these sheets, to clip these sheets. We clip them real nice and square and straight, and then we can fold it back on itself, one sheet back against the other, and with that clipped straight edge we bring those up together to make what's called a book match. And then you have what you can see here is where the veneer will go together. That's your seam. Now the patterns match, and this gives you a very nice, pleasing effect, as you can see here. So you still say, but can I actually see the seam? Well, I'm going to show you some examples and you can decide for yourself. There's a seam in this wood veneer surface here. The seam is right along here. Now if you look really closely, you can see how this pattern matches, but I defy you to actually see where the joint mark is. So that's an example of just how well we can join these veneers side by side to come up with these wider sheets. Okay, we go on to another example here. Here's another example of a veneer that's seamed, and the seam is right along there. Once again, really difficult to see where it's joined. It does match. If you look really closely, you can see how it matches along that seam. Now here's an example of a veneer that has been joined up, and now if you look closely you can see how these grain patterns are mirror images of each other here, and they are joined right along here. This is the seam mark here. Once again, you can't see it, but you can tell where it is by looking at the patterns, and these patterns give a really nice effect. When you have a bold grain like this is a flat cut grain, you really do get some very nice repeating patterns in the face of the larger veneer sheet. And finally, we have one more example. This is a walnut. It's actually a walnut burl. The seam is right along here. If you look, you can see how these grains are matching. See that? But in terms of actually seeing that seam, it's kind of difficult sometimes. Once again, in order to know where the seam is, you look for the grain that matches, and it's a mirror image match called a book match. That's today's quick lesson on whether or not you can see the seams in the veneer sheets.